Let's talk about some federal stuff to kick it off. It's been half a year now under Mark Carney's grand leadership. The Liberal government's as directionless and as inept as it ever was under Trudeau's guidance. I mean, Liberal strategists, they successfully convinced Canadians that the trade war with the U.S. was such an urgent issue it could only be managed under the brilliant guidance of the economic wizard Mark Carney. Voters in Eastern Canada forgot about the decade of ineptitude under the Trudeau regime and kept the Liberals in power. To say Carney's underperformed is an understatement. Carney's tactics on the trade war have been hopelessly weak and ineffective. Despite campaigning on being a tough-talking, elbows-up sort of leader, Carney's offered nothing but capitulation while Trump imposes and removes tariffs upon Canada at will. The Canadian counter-tariffs were dropped, and Carney's been reduced to begging for Trump's goodwill while the Canadian industries suffer. Carney's failures in economic diplomacy aren't just limited to the U.S. Canola farmers are taking a $2 billion hit in Canada due to Liberal tariffs on Chinese cars to protect a Canadian-made EV industry that doesn't exist. While Carney insists he wants to facilitate the development of Canadian resource industries, he refuses to remove the legislation choking those sectors. The tanker ban, the No More Pipelines bill, they're still in place. And Carney pretends to be mystified as to why no private investors have been willing to step up and build pipelines in the country. Energy sector investment in general has been chilled due to the looming emissions cap. Why invest in an industry when the government plans to make it illegal to produce over a certain amount of the product? And Carney's hinted at reconsidering the cap, but his senior bureaucrats are making the case to keep it, and the Liberals just voted down a motion to remove the cap. This mixed messaging fosters instability and rattles investor confidence in every industry. Does Carney have control of this issue, and does he have a plan or not? Crime's been a growing concern for Canadians for years, and the Carney government's been paying lip service to it while doing nothing. The Attorney General embarrassed himself when he told Canadians they don't have the right to defend themselves just before a crime wave hit, which left a man dead and a child molested in two separate home invasions. The Liberals then voted down a motion to crack down on violent repeat offenders. On the unity front, the Liberals have inexplicably opened the door to a possible constitutional crisis when they asked the courts to put limits on the use of the notwithstanding clause. If the courts comply, Quebec nationalists are going to go ballistic, as will the independence and movements in Alberta and Saskatchewan. Well, that might not be a bad development in the long run. Why on earth is Carney inflaming it? He's also insisting on maintaining Trudeau's attempted gun ban, despite the policy being an utter failure since it was first announced. The government continues to kick the ball down the field, extend the deadline, while the public safety minister has admitted that the gun grab is unenforceable. Total embarrassment. At the end of July, here's Carney again showing his strength of will. He indicated he would recognize Palestinian statehood under the preconditions that Hamas released the hostages, disarmed themselves, and removed themselves from power. Hamas did none of those things, so Carney simply shrugged and recognized their statehood anyways. What a wimp. Hasn't been proving himself to be a leader. He's proving himself to be a feckless wimp. He's established a pattern of making strong policy statements, drawing lines in the sand, only to jump backwards as soon as he experiences pressure. A sudden flurry of resignations from senior Liberal MPs and somebody from his own office gives the impression that they see a bleak outlook coming here. Clearly, Carney hasn't instilled confidence in the Liberal ranks, and the rats are starting to flee while they can. Even Trudeau managed to keep his members loyal to them. I suspect the looming disaster scaring those Liberal loyalists away is the budget deficit, which is expected to near or possibly surpass $100 billion. It's a staggering number and indicating gross fiscal mismanagement. While Carney's used the word austerity when speaking of the budget, he's done nothing but cut checks from the taxpayers' accounts since he assumed power. It's the lazy way to try and govern, and it's going to lead to an economic crash. Even Trudeau never imagined running a deficit anywhere nearly as high as what Carney has managed to do in 6 months. And the real frightening part is it's likely going to be years before Canada can free itself from the yoke of Carney's callow and limp governance. Just imagine the damage he's going to manage to cause with a few more years to fumble around. Canada is broken and probably beyond repair. And as this becomes more evident to Canadians, we can expect independence movements and provinces to keep growing. We can't save it all. Maybe we could save parts of it. Elbows up indeed.